The thunder of hooves, the blur of motion, the breathtaking rush to the finish line. This is the pulse of horse racing. For centuries, we've been captivated by the sheer velocity of equine champions, chasing the eternal question, who is the fastest racehorse in history? But speed isn't so simple. Is it peak velocity, blistering record times, unmatched consistency against elite competition? In this definitive countdown, we break it all down. From lightning bursts to marathon brilliance, to uncover the ultimate speed legends. Ready to meet the horses who defied time itself? Let the race begin. At number 10, we begin with the Grand Slam hero, American Pharoah. Few horses have captured the imagination of fans around the world like American Pharoah, the 2015 sensation who ended a 37-year Triple Crown drought and rewrote the history books in the process. Foaled in 2012, this brilliant bay colt became the first horse in history to achieve the elusive Grand Slam of American racing, winning the Kentucky Derby, Preakness Stakes, Belmont Stakes, and Breeders' Cup Classic all in the same year. But it wasn't just his achievements that made him special, it was the way he did it. His running style blended a perfect balance of early speed, stamina, and a stride so smooth it seemed effortless. Clocking 2:26.65 in the Belmont Stakes, his time remains among the 6 fastest ever at the 1.5-mile distance, and the second fastest of any Triple Crown winner, behind only the legendary Secretariat. His final quarter mile in that race was run in a blazing 24.32 seconds, the fastest among all Triple Crown Belmont winners, showcasing his rare ability to accelerate even after a grueling mile and a quarter. Trained by Hall of Famer Bob Baffert and ridden with ice-cool precision by Victor Espinoza, American Pharoah displayed front-running dominance, setting comfortable early fractions and then turning up the pressure when it mattered most. His pedigree, a blend of speed and toughness, came from Pioneer of the Nile and Little Princess Emma, linking back to legendary bloodlines. With a final race record of 9 wins from 11 starts and over $8.6 million in earnings, his impact went beyond the racetrack. He revitalized interest in American thoroughbred racing and brought mainstream attention back to the sport. His signature moment in the 2015 Belmont Stakes, where he coasted to a 5.5-length victory, will forever be etched in racing lore. His legacy continues at stud, producing winners who combine his brilliance with durability. As one of the few horses to match elite speed with staying power, American Pharoah stands tall as a defining figure in modern horse racing history. Coming in at number 9, it's the undefeated speed demon, Flightline. When discussing sheer unfiltered dominance, Flightline enters the conversation with an aura of invincibility. Foaled in 2018, this undefeated American thoroughbred redefined what it means to be fast in the modern era, delivering performances so dominant they drew comparisons to Secretariat, Frankel, and other immortals. Despite racing just 6 times, his impact was seismic. What Flightline lacked in longevity, he more than made up for in jaw-dropping brilliance. His crowning achievement came in the 2022 Pacific Classic Stakes, where he obliterated a Grade 1 field by an astonishing 19.25 lengths, stopping the clock at 1:59.28 for 1.25 miles, just fractions off the Del Mar track record. That race earned him a Bayer speed figure of 126, one of the highest in the metrics history, and a time form rating of 139, second only to the mighty Frankel. Every time he stepped on the track, Flightline didn't just win, he annihilated his opposition. In total, he won his 6 career starts by a combined 62.75 lengths, including dominant victories in the Breeders' Cup Classic, Metropolitan Handicap, and Malibu Stakes, all Grade 1s. Trained by John Sadler and piloted masterfully by Flavien Prat, Flightline showcased a rare combination of tactical speed, devastating acceleration, and long-distance cruising ability. He often sat just off the pace before unleashing a relentless surge that left rivals gasping for air. Sired by Tappet, one of North America's leading sires, and out of feathered by Indian Charlie, his pedigree fused stamina with explosiveness. His style was smooth and fluid, with an almost mechanical precision that made even the most elite competitors look ordinary. His 1-mile time of 1:33.59 in the 2022 Met Mile further underlined his versatility and turn of foot. What made Flightline truly exceptional, though, was his ability to maintain mind-blowing speed without appearing to try. earning the label of a once-in-a-generation talent. Though his career was brief, his legacy is enormous, forever etched in racing history as a horse who shattered expectations and redefined elite performance. At number 8, we spotlight a horse whose raw talent defied conventional categorization, Ghostzapper, the super horse of the early 2000s. Foaled in 2000, this American thoroughbred stallion didn't race often, but when he did, he delivered jaw-dropping performances that fused sprint-like speed with distance stamina, a feat very few horses in history could match. In 2004, Ghostzapper exploded into racing legend status by winning the Breeders' Cup Classic in a record-breaking 1:59.02 for 1¼ miles at Lone Star Park, a mark that remains among the fastest times ever recorded at the distance on dirt. Even more astonishing was his Bayer speed figure of 128 earned during the Iceland Handicap, still the highest Bayer ever recorded at a non-sprint distance, underscoring his elite acceleration and cruising speed. Unlike many horses who specialize in either short sprints or long routes, Ghostzapper dominated from 7 furlongs to classic distances, earning accolades for his unmatched versatility and tactical brilliance. His 2004 campaign was flawless, 4 for 4, including major Grade 1 wins in the Woodward Stakes, Tonfool Handicap, and the Breeders' Cup Classic, culminating in the Eclipse Award for Horse of the Year. Trained by the late, great Bobby Frankel and ridden by Javier Castellano, Ghostzapper proved equally dangerous, whether leading from the front or stalking his rivals. His explosive turn of foot and ability to sustain top gear over long distances became his trademark. Bred and owned by Adena Springs, he was sired by Awesome Again out of the broodmare Baby Zip, whose offspring also included sprint champion City Zip, confirming the potent speed in the family tree. Though his career was shortened by injury, Ghostzapper retired with 9 wins from 11 starts and earnings over $3.4 million, later cementing his legacy with induction into the Hall of Fame in 2012. Breaking into the top 7 is a name you might not hear in the usual debates, but winning Brew earns her spot not through decorated trophies, but by breaking the speedometer. Foaled in 2005, this Pennsylvania-bred thoroughbred filly turned the racing world on its head on May 14, 2008, when she set the Guinness World Record for the fastest speed ever recorded by a racehorse, reaching a mind-blowing 43.97 miles per hour over 2 furlongs a quarter mile. Clocking in at just 20.57 seconds, winning Brew didn't just win a race, she made history with a performance that transcended time and distance. To put it in perspective, standard 2 furlong times hover near 24 seconds, making her nearly 3.5 seconds faster than a typical elite sprinter. This burst of acceleration, recorded at Penn National Racecourse, instantly crowned her the fastest thoroughbred ever timed, proving that racing glory can be forged in mere seconds. Trained by Francis Vitali, her accomplishment wasn't backed by a career of stakes victories or famous rivals, but rather by one unparalleled feat of explosive power. With only 1 win and 1 second-place finish from 11 starts, her racing resume might appear modest, but that doesn't dim the brilliance of her world record performance. The race itself wasn't even a stakes event, yet it became an iconic moment. An ordinary day turned extraordinary by a blur of equine muscle and motion. Winning Brew's style was all about front-running speed. She was a pure sprint specialist, optimized for instantaneous velocity out of the gate. Her acceleration curve was so steep, she reached top speed in seconds, setting her apart from traditional stayers or even elite middle-distance champions. At number 6 on our list of the top 10 fastest horses in racing history, we spotlight the legendary Seattle Slew, the only thoroughbred to ever win the Triple Crown while remaining undefeated. Foaled in 1974, Seattle Slew didn't just run races, he dominated them with an imposing, front-running style that rewrote what was possible in elite-level competition. In the 1977 racing season, he pulled off one of the most iconic feats in the sport's history, clinching the Kentucky Derby, Preakness Stakes, and Belmont Stakes without tasting defeat, a record that remains unmatched to this day. His explosive early speed was on full display in the Preakness, where he clocked an astonishing first mile in 1:34 4/5, the fastest in the race's history at that point. In other notable performances, Seattle Slew shattered track records at Hialeah with a 6-furlong dash in 1 minute 8 seconds and 7 furlongs in 1:20 3/5, showcasing a rare mix of acceleration and endurance that overwhelmed his rivals. Seattle Slew's racing resume includes 14 wins from 17 starts, with only 2 seconds and 1/3, amassing over $1.2 million in earnings, a substantial figure for his era. His victory in the 1977 Champagne Stakes at age 2, where he finished a mile in 1:34 2/5, was the fastest ever for a horse of that age at Belmont, revealing his raw potential early in his career. Known for his aggressive racing approach, Slew often took command from the gate, daring the field to chase him, a challenge few could meet. Under the guidance of trainer Billy Turner Jr. and ridden by jockey Gene Kruger, Seattle Slew was a formidable competitor with a pedigree that blended power and speed. Sired by bold reasoning and out of my charmer, he passed on his greatness to future generations, most notably through his son AP Indy, another elite Belmont champion. Seattle Slew's legacy goes far beyond the racetrack. His Triple Crown run in 1977 remains one of the sport's most celebrated achievements, and his role as a transformative sire has had lasting influence in global breeding. Claiming the 5th spot in our countdown of the fastest racehorses in history, the incomparable Black Caviar gallops into racing immortality with a flawless record and breathtaking speed. Born in 2006 in Australia, this towering, athletic mare didn't just win races. She demolished fields with a level of consistency and class rarely witnessed in modern horse racing. Black Caviar's undefeated streak of 25 wins from 25 starts, including a staggering 15 Group 1 victories, makes her not only one of the greatest sprinters of all time, but also a marvel of equine athleticism and genetic brilliance. In the 2012 Lightning Stakes at Flemington, she set a blistering track record of 55.42 seconds, over 1,000 meters, approximately 5 furlongs, a display of sheer velocity that redefined sprinting standards in Australian racing. Her stride, described by analysts as machine-like, allowed her to generate devastating pace while conserving energy. While her home turf victories were often one-sided affairs, Black Caviar's most internationally defining moment came in the 2012 Diamond Jubilee Stakes at Royal Ascot. Facing unfamiliar surroundings and a demanding transcontinental journey, she still managed to hold off elite international competition to maintain her unbeaten record, proving that her dominance wasn't confined to Australian soil. Her success on the world stage elevated her reputation to that of a global racing icon, and her tenacity in the Royal Ascot finish, despite not being at full fitness, won her admiration far beyond racing circles. Black Caviar was crowned WTRR World Champion Sprinter for 4 consecutive years, 2010 to 2013, and Australian Racehorse of the Year 3 times, a reflection of her reign over the sprinting division. Trained by Peter Moody and most often ridden by Luke Nolan, Black Caviar's blend of speed and stamina was supported by her pedigree. She was sired by Bel Esprit out of Helsinga, tracing her lineage to prominent names like Royal Academy and Nijinsky, which lent her both class and confirmation. At number 4, we have Frankel, the undefeated European king who galloped into immortality. When it comes to flat racing in Europe, few names shine brighter than Frankel, the awe-inspiring British colt foaled in 2008. Undefeated across 14 career starts, Frankel carved his place into the annals of horse racing history with a level of dominance that defied convention. Whether tearing up the turf at Newmarket or leaving seasoned champions in the dust at Royal Ascot, Frankel was nothing short of a phenomenon. His career was a display of elite athleticism, blending blistering acceleration, untouchable top-end speed, and remarkable consistency across the most elite Group 1 fields in Europe. With an estimated top speed of 43 miles per hour and a time form rating of 140, one of the highest ever, Frankel didn't just win, he obliterated his competition. In the 2011-2000 Guineas, he blazed ahead from the start, delivering a performance so commanding it was described as a solo exhibition. Frankel's strategic versatility allowed him to dominate whether leading from the front or stalking the pace, and his hallmark was his devastating turn of foot, a sudden burst of speed that left rivals frozen in their tracks. Trained by the legendary Sir Henry Cecil and ridden primarily by Tom Quealy, Frankel was the product of a powerful pedigree, sired by the great Galileo out of Kind, a descendant of Danehill. His racing style combined beauty and brute force, earning him accolades across the globe and respect as perhaps Europe's fastest flat racer of all time. Since retiring, he has become a super sire, fathering numerous Group 1 champions and extending his influence across generations. Frankel didn't just race, he redefined what perfection looked like in modern horse racing, galloping into greatness with every breathtaking stride. Storming in at number 3, we have Man o' War, the mostest horse who redefined speed. Long before racing entered the television era, Man o' War was already a living legend, a 20th century colossus whose name became synonymous with speed, power, and dominance. Born in 1917, this magnificent chestnut stallion, nicknamed Big Red, reigned over the racetracks like a force of nature, winning 20 of his 21 starts, often by jaw-dropping margins. In an age where track conditions were rudimentary and training methods less scientific, Man o' War achieved feats that still astonish historians and fans alike. He set multiple American speed records, including a sub-136 mile in the Withers Stakes, a feat never seen in actual race conditions until then. In the 1920 Belmont Stakes, he galloped to victory by 20 lengths, smashing the American record for 1 3/8 miles with a time of 2:14 1/5. His speed wasn't a fleeting burst, it was a sustained onslaught, often turning races into exhibitions. His 1920 Dwyer Stakes performance, completed in 1:49 1/5 over 1 8 miles, further showcased his ability to push boundaries across distances. Owned by Samuel D. Riddle, trained by Louis Feustel, and ridden by Clarence Cummer, Man o' War was the embodiment of athletic perfection. His stride was massive, his chest powerful, and his will to win almost sentient. He not only humbled his competitors, he crushed them. His only loss, widely considered a fluke, only adds to the legend. His legacy lives on through his progeny, most notably War Admiral, the 1937 Triple Crown winner. Even a century later, his impact on breeding, racing standards, and the mythology of the sport is profound. Man o' War wasn't just fast, he was transcendent, earning the title the mostest horse, not by media hype, but by jaw-dropping performances that still resonate in racing lore. At number 2, we have the unrelenting powerhouse, Dr. Fager, the unbreakable miler. Dr. Fager's name is forever etched in the chronicles of racing as one of the most electrifying speed machines the sport has ever witnessed. Foaled in 1964, this American thoroughbred stallion wasn't just fast, he was historically unmatched over the mile distance. His most iconic moment came in the 1968 Washington Park Handicap, where he clocked an unprecedented 1 minute 32 1/5 seconds for a mile, a world record that remains unbeaten to this day on dirt. What elevates this achievement is the fact that Dr. Fager carried 134 pounds during this feat, a crushing weight rarely carried to such a performance. His raw acceleration, seamless stride, and relentless pacing made him a force no rival could reckon with. That same year, he pulled off an extraordinary accomplishment, securing 4 American titles in a single season: Horse of the Year, Champion Handicap Horse, Champion Sprinter, and Co-Champion Grass Horse, a feat unmatched in the sport's history. His 1968 campaign included 7 commanding victories out of 8 starts, where he broke track records at multiple distances. From 7 furlongs to 1 1/4 miles, a front-running phenomenon, Dr. Fager dictated the tempo from the outset, obliterating competition with his consistent high cruising speed. His stride wasn't just long, it was commanding, with power and precision in every motion. Trained by the legendary John Nerid and ridden by Braulio Baiza, Dr. Fager hailed from an elite pedigree, being sired by Rough and Tumble and out of the highly influential broodmare Aspidistra. His unique genetic makeup, combined with strategic training, produced a horse who could sprint with blinding speed and still carry weight like a true warrior. A future Hall of Famer and influential sire, Dr. Fager's impact on American breeding lines lives on. Among racing enthusiasts and historians, his name remains synonymous with sustained, unbreakable speed, and no list of the fastest racehorses in history could be complete without his thunderous gallop. And at number 1, we reach the absolute pinnacle, Secretariat, in a stunning 1:59.40. Still the fastest Derby on record. Turcotte and trained by Lucien Lorraine, Secretariat was the pride of Penny Chenery's Meadow Stable. His pedigree combined the precocious speed of Bold Ruler with the stamina-rich lineage of Something Royal and Prince Squillo, resulting in a virtually flawless equine athlete. Secretariat was not just a racehorse, he was an icon, a pop culture phenomenon, and an enduring standard of equine excellence. At stud, he sired champions and left a deep genetic legacy in both speed and stamina across bloodlines. His speed figures and record times across the Triple Crown distances make him the ultimate blend of speed, endurance, and greatness. There has never been another quite like him, and likely never will be. From jaw-dropping bursts to sustained domination, these legends redefine what it means to be fast. Their speed wasn't just measured in seconds, it was felt in the hearts of millions. These champions didn't just race, they rewrote history. If you enjoyed this journey through racing speed icons, like, comment, and subscribe for more thrilling content. Thanks for watching, and remember, true speed never fades.